Speaking of great quarterbacks, Tom Brady made his broadcasting debut this week. He covered the Dallas Cleveland game, which again did not go the way that any of us thought it was going to go, besides Bobby. What did we think about Brady's debut? I know how DK feels. Were you underwhelmed, or did you feel like it? I think Tony Romo ruined it for us a couple of years ago when that first year of Romo, he was excellent. Like even you have said that.
He was electric that first year.
Brady wasn't that.
No,
Can he be that?
He was bad.
Oh yeah, he's too
Robotic.
He's robotic, but he's too much of an all shot. Like he's not what he was on the field. Like if he transformed into what he was on the field, that's a different story. Because that
can't.
guy, and he can't because that's not. I don't think he wants to be that. But it's like because that guy's the most competitive guy I've ever seen. If that's the case, and we'll bring it and we'll try to get better. Now I'm sure that he hears the murmuring. He hears what was said already, and I'm sure that his next performance next week will be much better than it was. In week one. I thought he was okay for that arena football game that he did over the summer. But once again, that was a low level, low vibration, low pressure, situation. So it was like, okay, you kind of just ease your way into it. But it was underwhelming only because, like I said, the personality has to be there. Once again, there's no one that could question the football knowledge. Like let's be like, the football knowledge is second to none. But what I've seen him break down on Colin Cowherd's show, what I've seen him talk about with Stephen A. Like the dude is next level. Obviously, when it comes to breaking down plays and talking about the state of the game, but he doesn't. I don't know if he has the voice for it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you have to find your voice eventually. But I'm saying just can you turn it? It's one thing listening to an interview or listening to a podcast with him on it, but to be on there, where you have to play off the play-by-play guy. I'm not like I say he didn't have it yet. Doesn't mean that he won't get it, but as of now, it wasn't where we thought it would be or could be coming out the gate. And like you said, Mike, it's true. Romo out the gate was unreal. Like I can't believe you was like this, and you couldn't get past a certain thing, and you thought like this. Like the way, I mean, once again, he's become annoying and robotic to an extent, meaning Romo, but the way he still breaks down stuff is still excellent. It's just he just became a little more robotic. So, people can't stand him now, but he's not Collinsworth level bad. He no one's worse than him. No one is
off.
Get out of here. What are you talking about? That's fucking slanderous.
But dude, here's a guy every 5 seconds, please. So y'all, okay, well, we disagree on that. Sorry.
Chris Collinsworth
is the gold standard.
He's mastered the art of making it seem like you fucking he's sitting next to you on the couch, just calling a great game of football. Him and Mike Tirico are the absolute gold standard.
I love Mike Tirico, but I'm not a fan of
Mike Tirico's no Al Michaels. So it's
Mike Tirico's great.
Okay, who is though? Who is?
Yeah, exactly.
It was a massive drop off. But don't you think, DK, isn't Tom Brady kind of cucked by the fact that he can't go into any walkthroughs, he can't go to any practices, and he can't talk negatively about the refs because he's trying to be an owner of the Raiders?
I don't fucking feel bad for him. He's like, I get to do this job because I did a completely unrelated job, basically, that doesn't give me any of the fucking skills that it takes to. It's always annoyed me that when a player's profile supersedes their talent to do that job. We all went to fucking school for this, we have respect for broadcasting. Our opinions on good broadcasters may differ, but we have at least respect for the fucking art form, like the Al Michaels of the world, like Edward R. fucking Murrow, you know what I mean? Like people being good broadcasters, not just sports broadcasters, is a difficult thing to do. And you have to be incredibly high level to be announcing an NFL game one way or the other. And quite frankly, the contract that Tom Brady got, the job that Tom Brady got for what his skill set is probably the most one-sided, lopsided payment for level of talent I've ever seen, except for the CEO of every company ever. But
considering how good Greg Olsen was.
Right, Greg Olsen was fine. He was fine.
He's awesome.
He was fine, and he was getting better. I thought year on year, every year, Greg Olsen got slightly less annoying to me, even though I liked him as a player. But again, that was a growing pain situation. Will Brady get better? Sure, but he's not good. This is like my point was actually going to be before you slandered Collinsworth. My point was literally going to be, how unfair was it that you were like listening to Brady late into the later games, and then they throw to Chris Collinsworth, and it was like, holy shit! Like, why did they let that opening act fucking go out there? Like, they got slaughtered when they got followed up. Like, Collinsworth was just, because the thing is, Brady sounded tense, which is fine for your first game, but it throws it to Collinsworth, and that man doesn't have a care in the world. He's so happy to be there. He loves the game of football, and yeah, he thinks all those guys are really good players. He's just like, honestly, I think the thing he builds from is he's like, honestly, these guys are all great. These guys are all just wonderful athletes. And I'm like, it's happy-go-lucky. He brings a Mr. Rogers Neighborhood type vibe to the whole thing.
And I think maybe, so to add to that, right, I think maybe, and this goes back to what Mike said about Marcus, maybe I like the pairing of him and L. Michaels.
I was upset when they broke up too.
Then him and Tirico, maybe that's I've always
think him and Tirico have really figured it out. You
know what I'm saying. So that's where I'm stemming from. But I mean, listen, he was great with watching. I love the what game was that? I think it was against Indianapolis where Gronk ran over dude and just scored a touchdown. There was a few games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on saying that he was just like, oh yeah, like that's the fan that's on the couch. So I get what you guys say in that regard. It's just for me, some of those moments that happen too few and far between for me anyways. But like I said, he's had great moments. I just wasn't I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he's had great moments though. He
also just knows how natural it is like to let the announcer actually breathe. Like he never stepped on Al. And never steps on Tirico.
Brady let the announcer breathe until he died of oxygen.
I know.
The problem is that Brady just wouldn't talk. I was like, Tom, that's you. Like, time for you to go. And he just wouldn't. And it was like these horrible, uncomfortable silences, because that's probably what it's like to hang out with Tom Brady, dude. He's a weird guy. You have to be a little bit of a psycho to have done what he did. So now the more we see his personality, like the roast was like funny, but it was weird as fuck, dude. It was weird as fuck. Like,
can you imagine Michael Jordan calling NBA games?
No. Yeah, I think he would do great, to be totally
honest.
I think he would do awesome. I think he would do awesome. They made a whole documentary about how great Michael Jordan's personality is. They made a whole like 6-part series about how fucking cool as shit and competitive Michael Jordan is. I think he'd do great. I think he'd do awesome. Yeah, totally. The only thing he shouldn't be is a fucking GM.
I think that he would slander every player possible.
That'd be great. That'd be
the only guy that people rock with is guys that
must see TV. Must see TV.
Yeah, he would rock with guys that went to North Carolina, and then he would big up Russell Westbrook. That's about it.
I bet he would. I think he would love Anthony Edwards. I think he would absolutely.
For sure.
All over Anthony Edwards at all times.
For sure. You'd be like, son, is that you?
Yeah, but listen, I just think that Tom Brady is the kind of guy that thinks he's good at a lot of things, when in fact we've seen him be good categorically at one thing. Now, he was the best to ever do that, but come on, man, you can't have it all. Give somebody else the job that's like way better than